You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Anger Management After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Anger Management After Show.
Colorful, colorful.
Hello, guys. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing it live for you guys at AFTERBUZZ TV, buzzing about anger management. Episode 8 from Season 1. It's called Charlie Outs a Patient. It's a very good episode. I am your host, Lauren Leonelli.
I am Derrial, Christon.
And I am Kaissi. Welcome.
And we are going to give a shout out to our other host, Anna Koppel, who is not here tonight. She'll be with us next week. So, Anna, word up. All right, guys. And before we get into everything, we're just going to bring up iTunes here. We really appreciate everybody rating and commenting on our shows. We love hearing what you have to say. We totally appreciate your support, so thank you for doing that. But also, if you guys want to organize your downloads from the podcast, then you can download the iTunes podcast app. And it's just a really good way to keep everything organized. Any AFTERBUZZ podcast that you have keeps them in order. You can find them and listen to them.
It helps.
Super
I did it. It helps.
I love being organized, so I'm just saying it's a good thing to do.
And then you can comment more.
Exactly.
And we do read all those comments.
We do, and we appreciate them, so thank you
Good
very
and
much,
bad.
guys.
And keep doing it. Keep commenting.
Keep them coming. Okay, so tonight the episode was Charlie Outs a Patient, and Nolan was a pretty big character in the storyline this time.
He was.
Yeah.
And I like Nolan. I mean, he's you know,
not my favorite.
Yeah.
Mine either.
Well, let me clarify.
Okay.
I'm not sure this episode was not really my favorite episode.
Right.
And I didn't know. I just kind of chalked it to the fact that maybe I wasn't really like attached to Nolan as a character yet. That might not be the case. But there is something about this episode. I just feel like there were so many other episodes where I laughed harder.
Yeah.
This wasn't that one.
I can see that there are so many characters in the therapy sessions. There's the prison therapy sessions, and there's the group anger management therapy, plus the wife and the daughter and the neighbor and the other therapist. So it's hard. And yeah, I feel like that could be a really good point. It's hard to get, you weren't really emotionally attached to Nolan, and he had a really big part.
Yeah,
I'm still not emotionally attached to Nolan.
Yeah. But Nolan and Athena, that relationship, what'd you guys think about that?
See, I'm going to kind of jump on do his bandwagon because I normally like Nolan, but tonight I didn't because I felt like, excuse me, I don't think I liked the fact that he was so kind of meek with Athena, and she, you know, he was like scared of her almost.
It's
you know?
not believable for somebody that has anger problems to all of a sudden be like this little baby.
Yeah.
We've never really seen Nolan have anger problems. So I feel like, which I get, I completely agree with you guys. I'm saying from another standpoint, I don't ever feel like I've seen him get really angry. I feel like he gets turned on by anger. He likes when everyone else is angry, and I've never seen him be angry. So I'm a little confused as to what his anger management issue is. Am I the only one?
Have they mentioned that? What the anger management, like why he is in anger management?
There's something that's there, but I just can't put my button on what the reason was.
I think they may have touched on something,
yeah, I think it was
and I think we're all confused, so maybe you guys are also confused as well, and maybe that it wasn't clear in the writing process.
Or if we missed it and you know, feel free to call in and tell us about it, because we're curious.
I thought there was something about a girlfriend, and a girlfriend that got angry with him, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I believe that it was something with her attacking him or going after him with something. So maybe he clearly likes those type of women.
And because he really likes Lacey, which is we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
And she's
because she abuses him.
He likes it.
Yeah.
He's like a puppy.
He's a sucker for abuse.
And that's why I think he liked Athena. She was a very abusive and manipulative, and she got a little cray at the end when she was like drunk and like screaming and tried to run over him with the car.
I would not date a woman like Athena. First of all, she never blinked.
That was the funny part.
And that's key. When a person does not blink, they got some issues.
And she was like, I don't want to miss anything. You were like,
evil in your eye.
Scary.
See, I don't think that Nolan needs to be in anger management. I think that he needs to be in masochistic management.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's interesting. I love that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I liked their relationship a lot.
So we're on the opposing side tonight.
I think so. We always are, but I kind of liked getting to see Nolan is, I guess, what I liked about it.
I actually, there was this quote that I made you guys stop and rewind. I love this quote from Ed. Even if Ed doesn't have that many lines, they're hilarious. I really like Ed, and he was just like, Nolan was talking about bringing his girlfriend into anger management because she obviously needs it too. And he goes, why don't you bring her in here? We'll put her on the table, turn her around, and see if she's a good breeding filly.
Right, that was funny.
He always has those zingers, and that was like the best one so far. We all laughed. We were like, what did he just say? I
need to write that down.
Oh, the drum roll. Now, there was something I was a little bit confused about. Maybe you guys can clear it up for me. When Nolan went to the restaurant to meet Athena, and he wanted Charlie to come in because there was a whole issue about he was on the 4th date. He was nervous about going on the 5th date. He had the 5th date jitters. And he had Charlie come in, and then Charlie and Brett Butler, who was on the episode, revealed the fact that he was in anger management because he had told her that he was
Charlie was his urologist.
Urologist, right? His penis doctor. Yes, according to the show.
Yes.
Now Athena got really upset. Now, why do you think she got so upset when she herself has a lot of anger issues?
Well, that's precisely. You just answered your own question. She has anger issues. That's why she got mad.
She's easily angered. But I will say this: I interpret that a little differently. I don't think Nolan knew that Charlie was coming. Did I miss that? I think he
asked Charlie to come, but he didn't know for sure if Charlie was going to come.
Okay.
Yeah, because wasn't there a conversation between Charlie and Kate as well? And Kate was like, "What, you're going?" And he was like, "Well, I care about my patients. Obviously, you don't."
Yeah. She said that he was too involved in his patients' lives.
That's right.
So that's why. And so he didn't confirm 100% that he was going, but he was in the process of definitely going.
Wow.
Which I do agree that I think that as a therapist, Charlie is a little bit too involved in his patients' lives. I like that it seems like, he's helping out. But yeah.
He does get involved. But Kate also mentioned that he had a mother that was like what was I don't remember the word that he used to describe the relationship between Charlie and his mother, but that she was like distant.
Yeah.
And his father was super strict. So now you feel like you need to have that love and affection from other people in your life, and that's why he does that.
Yeah.
That was a nice little background to kind of get into the character, and you emotionally attach with him, which is what we're kind of talking about with Nolan. We don't really have that because we don't really know why he's even in the group.
Yeah, and after the whole urology thing too, even though it was funny, but not only do I now think Nolan is a little is a little weak, now I also think he's stupid.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
Aw, poor guy.
Yeah, and then at the end she tries to run over him basically with the car and all those issues. Yeah.
Thanks, Marissa.
Nolan.
Yeah, that's hopefully Nolan will grow some in the next 2 episodes, because that's all we have left. For this season. Because I don't know. Like I said, I just didn't really like the fact that he was so weak with Athena.
Well,
she was so crazy.
I would like to see him get mad.
I think it's going to happen. I think something's going to happen with him. I'm going to save it for predictions, but I think something's going to happen with him.
A little prediction foreshadowing, if you will.
A prediction of a prediction.
A prediction of a prediction. Yeah.
I'm really excited. This is just a little off topic, but I'm just going to mention it because Charlie Sheen is going to be on the show Charlie Sheen's father, Martin Sheen's going to be on the show as his father. And I'm just really excited to get more backstory on Charlie and to kind of see. I'm really excited to see how this is going to pan out.
Yeah, me too. That's going to be interesting.
And also, if you see we're wearing, once again, our Charlie Sheen t-shirts. So if you would also like to purchase a Charlie Sheen t-shirt, instead of going directly to Amazon.com, go to AfterBuzz TV first, click on the Amazon banner. It'll take you to the Amazon site through AfterBuzz TV. You can order shirts. You can get whatever you want for your girlfriend, friend, boyfriend, dog, whatever it may be. We don't get any money for it, but we do get a nice kickback, so we can continue doing these great shows and many more, hopefully anger management shows as well. So definitely, before you do all your shopping on Amazon, go to AfterBuzz TV first, click on the Amazon banner, and do the shopping there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yay!
Keeps the
Love
lights
it.
I
on.
love that applause.
Does keep the lights
Makes
on.
me hype. Keeps
all
the
right.
lights on.
It does. It does. And there's lots of pretty ones here. All of the lights, all of the lights. I'm sorry, I just heard that on the radio.
Rihanna.
Anyway, I really am interested in talking about Charlie and Jen.
Okay.
This episode, they started out real personal.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know they were married, and obviously that they're very intimate with each other at one point in their lives, but they carry that intimacy into this friendship that they have. I mean, they opened up this episode with Charlie in the shower and Jen on the toilet.
Actually, I'm going to backtrack just for 1 second. I thought that first scene, I was really excited about the episode. I thought it was going to be amazing because I think we've all had that where somebody's knocking on the door. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What? You're like, and you're like, should I turn off? I'm not turning off the water. Should I turn off the water? And so and then they come in and with the whole toilet thing, I was like, this is going to be funny.
Yes.
They're a great part of the show.
Uh-huh.
Their chemistry is great.
I love their chemistry.
And it's kind of funny. I mean, I know that you were talking about this with them being that way at the top of the show, but it's almost a continuation of the way it ended last week because of the fact that they kind of had a really intimate moment at the last scene of last week's show.
Yes.
So it's almost like it carried over to this week.
Did.
And, you know, I thought it was great. I mean, I still, week by week, I love their relationship.
Me too.
Their relationship is one of the favorite things that I like about the show.
I completely
And I know
agree.
we've talked about, gone back and forth about them getting back together. I still don't necessarily want them to get back together because I think that they have a good separate relationship with each other. But their chemistry is dynamic on the show for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think, and like I've said this before, I think that what they do is just string you along. If and when the show ends, I think that would be the time to put them back together.
Yeah.
But they can't I don't think they can do it before that because their relationship is so, I just love that they're friends, but they cross that line. And I feel like in this episode, they really pushed that boundary and pushed that envelope.
Yeah.
Like she was like, Jen was like, I'm going to Palm Springs to have sex with this dentist. Can you watch our daughter? Like, they really...
Well, I think she said that to piss him off. Because I think that he slept with so many people when they were together that anytime, like, she'll still do these things just to be like, you know, I can do it too. I'm going to have sex. Can you watch our daughter?
Well, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, I said that last week. I said the same thing.
It was the same thing that she had slept with the prison mate, the guy, the character that was, what was his name?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
But
if you guys want to call in and let us know
exactly his name, he had like a funny, it was like Monster or something.
Was,
like
I think it was, yeah.
He slept with Jen, and we were discussing that topic of, was she doing it to piss him off?
Right. And I think she does. I mean, I agree with you once again. I'm on the Dua team tonight.
Yeah.
But I think she. I mean, I obviously I think that she does just because of the fact, like she said, that Charlie each week has different women, multiple women. In his bed.
Yep.
She's the ex-wife. She sees it. Yeah, they have a great friendship type of relationship. But I mean, come on, she's got to be a little jealous.
If he can do it, she can talk about it. And I think that they have such a good friendship that they feel like they kind of can. It's like a guy friend. Some of my guy friends, I'm like, I'll talk about stuff like that with him because you know you have such a good relationship, and I like that they have that.
Yeah.
I like watching it, and it's funny, and I like that she can be just kind of as ballsy as he can sometimes.
Yeah.
And didn't he end up using her condoms at the end when he slept with Kate?
He did. That's right.
They tried out the flavored condoms.
The strawberry flavor.
The strawberry flavored condoms.
They all tasted the same, Kate said, but
that's hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
You know, I think the inmate maybe was to get back. I don't think anybody ever really dates or sleeps with an inmate. I don't know.
That was a little.
Yeah, that was a little extreme.
Could have been.
And
no, please.
No, I was going to say, and she might just need to get some. I mean,
she might. Yeah.
She might need a little bit of tuning, a little tune up every once in a while, a little cleaning of the pipes. It works.
She has needs as well. You know what I find interesting? I feel like they end the show a lot. Like they kind of close out the show with him in bed with Kate a lot.
They do.
And when I was watching this scene, I was just remembering when I was younger, I used to watch Full House. Yes. And that show would always end with like the father like in the bedroom with the daughter, like clearing up the misunderstanding from that episode.
The resolution.
And, like, and like the happy family. And I was like, this is where we've come. Where it's just like, the sex scene at the end to just kind of like close it all off.
100%. She straight came from under the blanket this time. It wasn't like rolling off of each other like she popped her head out from under the blanket and we're like they just went there.
Yeah, they did.
So that's a really good I mean Full House.
Yeah, like I mean
that it's a big jump.
Television has come a long way.
This is FX, so they can
push the envelope a little bit more.
They can definitely, and that they did with that, and I agree. I do think that's funny. They do end the episode a lot like each episode like that.
Yeah.
In bed. And what do you guys think about Now, I know we talked about Nolan. He was in this episode a lot. His character was really like strong in the story. What do you think about Lacey and Nolan? I have some thoughts about those two.
I like that Lacey. She's a little tough little cookie. I like the fact that, this is the thing. I think that Lacey's that type of person who she can talk crap about Nolan, but no one else can talk crap about Nolan. You know what I mean? So
deep down, she really loves him?
I think deep down inside, I'm not going to say she loves him, but she definitely has more feelings for him than what she wants to show or admit.
That makes sense. If she has anger problems, she probably doesn't really know how to express love
or vulnerability. Yeah, she masks it with a tough exterior, which she totally does with her snarky, kind of rude comments. But when most people do that, it's kind of a cover for something else.
Well, just because they don't want to feel those feelings. Like, what is this? Like happiness? What?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I think I liked seeing her come to his rescue, even though she was like, "Oh, you think I'm coming because I care?" No, I just thought I'd try it out and see how it felt.
That was a really good impression.
Yeah, that was really good. New casting right here. New casting for that character.
No, but I liked watching her come to his rescue when he needed her, and she would be the last. If you think about if you had to pick someone from that group, like she would be the last person. She rips on him constantly. She's like disgusted by him apparently, and then she needs him.
She was the second person that he called in that like buddy system. So he does want, I think, with the storyline with Athena, like seeing how Nolan is now attracted to these like really damaged, very angry women. I think that him and Lacey are like a match made in heaven,
right? And she wants to control somebody, and he lets her, and he likes it, and she's going to crack the whip, she's going to wear the pants, and he's going to be like, okay, sure. I just kind of feel like they might be dropping a little hint to us here.
I would agree with that.
Is this another prediction of a prediction?
Kind of. I keep predicting. I'm just saying, I just feel like I liked watching that. I want something good to happen for him.
Yeah.
And I want her to soften a little. Yeah. And I feel like they could do that for each other.
Together.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely think that with Athena, like they were just laying the groundwork for other things that they're gonna have happen.
Right.
Precisely that. So then if and when anything does happen, then it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. My favorite scene in that, and a lot of guys can probably relate to this, is when she got upset, when Lacey got upset with Athena, and she took the big spoon and she was about to go outside and kick her butt, and then she took off her earrings and said, "Hold these earrings for me." Like, you got like a real soldier, trooper girl, a diehard girl when the girl takes off her earrings for you.
She is about to take off her earrings.
That's the
move. Yeah. That's your
That's a ride or die chick right there.
But she knows. You know how she knows? Because her earring got ripped out once, and she's like, "That's never gonna happen again."
That's true.
I loved that. I loved that she was like ready to go. And maybe she could have masked it with like, I'm the angry girl, like I'm not gonna let anybody treat a friend that way or whatever, but and she kind of jumped in to sort of just be her angry self. But I do feel like maybe she was like, it was her again showing that she really does care about him. Like she really did want to protect him a little bit.
Yeah.
And
or she was just looking for a reason to get angry.
Right.
Give me a reason.
Any reason. I think that's what it is on the outside, but underneath,
it's more
the motivation is because she cares. I think I'm stretching to say, but I think it could be that, and it makes it interesting to watch if you think that's what's underneath.
Yeah.
And I like it. And I think that it's interesting for her to cover with that.
Yeah.
It's always more interesting to watch an actor cover with something else. Like for example, like a really bad villain isn't fun to watch when they're like twirling their mustache and being evil. It's more interesting when they seem super normal and not scary.
Right.
So she's more interesting to me now that I know that she could potentially be covering this anger with like this vulnerability, and you would never pair her with Nolan. She makes fun of him, but it could be like the kids on the playground where you pull the pigtails of the person
and you really
like.
love them. Yeah.
I agree. It's definitely like she's becoming more of like a gray character, not really rigid. Like she's getting a softer side. And also when you are in a group, like an anger management group with a whole bunch of people, even if you don't particularly like them, you form a bond,
of course,
and a connection. And the fact that she did protect him, whether or not there were feelings there or not, shows that Charlie Sheen's character as a therapist is doing a good job.
Yeah. Even though this episode he did admit, I don't know if it was part of his ploy to get Nolan to go out there and stick up for himself at that point in the episode where Athena was out there screaming and Lacey was going to go out there and fight for him, and then Charlie was going to go do it, but Charlie said to Nolan, I I've failed as your therapist, because we're at a point right now where you should be able to stick up for yourself. And you should be able to act a certain way in a situation like this, and you're not able to execute that, and I feel like I've let you down, and I'm going to go out and take care of it because this is my fault. Now, maybe he was fully admitting he felt like he was Charlie was not doing his job, but it could have been a ploy to get Nolan to... I think
it was a ploy. It was a ploy 100%, okay. Because they mentioned something at the beginning of the episode about how Charlie was lying, and he lied about something. I can't remember what it is, but he lied about something, and I was like, Charlie lies in every episode. And I think that you can't tell somebody, I'm not a very, very good therapist, and then I'm going to take care of this for you, because that's not what would happen. And so what he was doing is he was definitely reverse psychologying it.
Right.
I think.
And he was apologizing and empowering him to go do it himself, and almost being like, I'm weak, I'm not good, I'm going to go do this. And he's like, no, I'll do it. And he gave him the opportunity
to step up.
Totally. He's conniving. Charlie is conniving.
Totally does that.
Never forget that.
But he is conniving, but I feel like it comes from not a malicious place.
No, I think it comes from a good place.
It comes from helping, wanting to help, and that's what his job is. And I think that that's always where his heart is. But yeah, it does come out through a little bit of lying and dishonesty and manipulation a little bit.
Now, do you think, like they were saying, like Kate and even Charlie was kind of saying about himself, do you think that he's too involved in the patients' lives like Nolan, or is, like, if he was my therapist, I kind of would appreciate the fact that he's willing to go the extra mile for me, but do you think that Charlie does too much for the group?
I don't know. It's interesting that they meet in his house. I think that blurs the boundaries a little. I don't know what I think about that, honestly. I don't know that I think that he invades their privacy too much, but he definitely does more than most traditional therapists that I've ever known.
Well, and I think he has to, because it's a TV show.
Right.
And they wouldn't have storylines if it wasn't. But it does show that he's compassionate, and I like it, and I don't think it's believable, but it's also like it's that line though. It's the TV show.
Right. I love how she slid that in.
Like,
I don't think it's believable.
I don't believe it.
But you have to do that. It's like it's going to be a little bit outlandish and a little bit.
Of course, you have to suspend your disbelief. There's a little bit of things that happen that are maybe a little, like you said, outlandish. But in order for there to be something interesting to be happening, they have to do that.
They have to do it. Yeah.
I'm just going to say one thing.
Okay.
Right before we get into like news and predictions. So I didn't see a lot of Kate this episode, and I will admit to you both, and Anna will have me,
that you liked it. Let me guess.
No. I actually missed it. It wasn't until I didn't have Kate that I was like, even though I hate her, at least she's entertaining. Because if I felt something, sometimes you're not supposed to like a character, right? So even though I hated her, I watched her and hated her, but I wanted to watch her and hate her. So she's doing good.
Yeah.
You have crossed
over.
Yeah.
We've broken boundaries on this show right now.
I know. I can feel I can feel Anna's stare.
Wait.
Yeah, her angry stare at you.
Everybody silence for a second, just to let Anna's eyes roll.
Yeah.
They just did it. You guys, I agree. She's doing her. I don't know that that Kate's not supposed to be liked, but if she is supposed to push the envelope in that sense with the real male energy and that I do, and some people might not like that, then she is doing her job.
She's doing her job.
She's doing her job.
You might not like it, but she's still doing it correctly.
I like that you missed her.
The funny thing is, tonight's episode, right before we got to like the last 2 minutes of it, I was going to say, man, this is the first episode that Charlie doesn't have sex on it. And then bam.
Ba-bam.
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 Wait a minute, hold on. Because of our prediction last, did he sleep with anybody this episode?
Her.
Well, do you count the last scene as sleeping with Kate?
Well,
no, this is new people, though.
New people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
0.
Actually, yeah, 0.
0.
So we have to remember our counts.
We have to remember our counts.
So you ready for some news and gossip?
All right, guys, we're going to get into some news and gossip here.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, we're talking about Charlie Sheen, guys.
Yay!
So Charlie Sheen apparently is going to be starring in Scary Movie 5 with Lindsay Lohan.
With Lindsay Lowe.
And if you didn't know, also a little tidbit, Charlie Sheen is a huge Cincinnati Reds fan. Huge, ever since he was in Major League. And he has pledged to donate $50,000 to the team's community. And I always think that's great. Awesome. I mean, I think it's like him or his PR people, his team, like they're really, really doing a good job, like buffing up his image, and I think it's fabulous.
I do too.
So.
And he has the money.
That's for sure.
So I've got a really interesting little piece of gossip. So Police Captain Hilton Burton is filing a huge lawsuit. How did this happen? So last April, Charlie Sheen took a Twitter picture with like siren lights and a speedometer that it was 80. He was getting a police escort from in DC from the airport to his comedy show in April. So when the police chief Kathy found out about this, she was stating that they only do this for government officials. And then Hilton said that this happens all the time. They always give celebrities escorts. They did it with Jay-Z, they did it with Bill Gates, and he revealed this, got demoted, and now he's suing for $6 million and his title reinstated.
Wow.
So he's suing Charlie.
No.
Oh.
He's suing the police department.
I was going to say, okay,
Yeah,
got it.
he's suing
got
the
it.
police department. And I just really feel like it's interesting because it was just one Twitter picture, and it wasn't even really pertaining to Charlie Sheen, but I feel like sometimes like just anything having to do in the same orbit just will, you know, just
Controversy.
will go off. Yeah. Did you guys watch Russell Brand on Conan O'Brien?
I missed it. I heard it was great, though.
I will recommend that you go see it. I'll give you the link in a minute. But Russell Brand was talking about Charlie Sheen on this, and he was talking about how when he hosted the MTV Movie Awards, he needed to say this joke as the host, and he really wanted somebody crazier than he was. So he's like, I'm going to use Charlie Sheen. Of course, obvious answer.
Right.
So he's like, I'm going to get Charlie in the audience, and and Charlie wouldn't sit in the audience because he was really, really nervous about what this was about. And he's like, I haven't heard the joke. I'm really nervous. I need to hear the joke. So it was like a minute before they're about to air. So Russell's running to go find Charlie, and he's like, all right. He goes, Charlie.
And your best British accent.
He's like, the joke is, if I do anything crazy, Charlie Sheen, there's a gram of cocaine under your seat along with a bottle of whiskey, and I want you to whip out the gram of cocaine and do the whiskey if I say anything crazy, and then come up here. So I guess he wouldn't seem as crazy.
Exactly.
And Charlie Sheen sitting there with a cigarette in his mouth. His only note to Russell Brand when he's like, is that okay? And he goes, can we make it a kilo?
That's
what he
genius.
said. I saw that, and if you wanna see this interview with Russell Brand on Charlie Sheen, you can go to celebritygossip.net, and they do have it. And he's on Conan O'Brien talking about this. I just thought it was, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I do too. Now, I'm actually sort of surprised that Charlie Sheen gets nervous about anything.
Well, you know.
I think he's really trying to buff up his image, like you said, and maybe he just didn't want it to go.
And maybe he just didn't know, because when you talk about a joke about Charlie Sheen, the avenue is
right.
There's
and
so
Russell
many things.
Brand.
Yeah, and he's, you know.
But he's Charlie Sheen, you know.
I know.
My thought is that he's not scared of anything. I mean, the guy's done everything. Why is he scared about Russell Brand's comment?
And I think they're friends, actually, because Charlie Sheen left a message on Russell Brand's voicemail once. He's like, Genius 1, this is Genius 2.
Oh.
And like a whole, you know, this was in the middle of the whole, like,
the whole craziness.
winning.
Yeah, the winning thing.
The winning.
I think he's trying to clean up his image, so maybe that was just why.
For sure.
All right, guys, it is time for my favorite part of the show, predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay.
I bet I can predict what your predictions are.
I think everybody listening
probably
and
the same
watching
one.
can, but I am going to go with the whole Lacey Nolan potential hookup. And I think that you and I sort of discussed that.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're planting the seeds.
Yeah, I'm going to hop on that bag. I totally agree. Totally agree.
I'm going to hop on it, but I'm also going to throw another one in there. I think that, yes, Lacey and Nolan are going to do the wild thing, but I also think that Charlie and Jen are going to do the wild thing as well.
What?
I think they are.
You think they're going to let
Didn't
that
you
happen?
predicted this last week, too?
Yeah, but I still feel it,
But-
especially with her. They're getting more and more intimate and closer. Her coming in the shower.
They're talking about sex all the time.
They're talking about
Hold on.
sex.
I'm gonna-
condoms found.
I'm going to piggyback on both of this because I agree with you, and I actually agree with you. But for both of these, the endings will be bad. I think that they'll sleep together once, and then it'll blow up. And it'll be something
I could take that.
you know?
Especially,
They can't end up good because then there's
Nolan and
there's no ammo for future
Lacey.
episodes.
I could totally see a scene where Charlie and Jen sleep together, and then they look at each other right afterwards, and they're like, never again. You know?
Totally.
I also
All right.
have one tiny little prediction as well.
Oh.
Tiny. But since Martin Sheen is going to be on the show, I actually predict that they're just going to throw in Emilio Estevez, too. Just bring in the whole family.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
The Estevez Brat Pack.
And
Yeah,
I'm sure
absolutely.
You guys would too, so thank you so much for tuning in.
Where can we find each other?
Well, Dua, go ahead.
Oh, I'm Dua Kaissi. You can find me on Facebook at Dua Kaissi or on Twitter at Dua Kaissi, DuaKaissi.
I'm Derrial Christon. You can find me under the same name, DerrialChriston, and also on Twitter under the same name.
Hi guys, I am Lauren Leonelli, and you can find me the same name, Lauren Leonelli, on Twitter, and same on Facebook. And also, you can follow me on Instagram under the same name, too.
She loves Instagram.
I do. I'm an Instagram lover.
Don't forget to follow Anna Koppel.
Anna Koppel.
Koppel for mayor.
Koppel for mayor. And I want to give one special shout out to one of our guests, Caitlin Mastrandrea, who was on tonight's episode. You did your thing. Great job.
Caitlin.
Hey.
We
want to have you on the show again. Great job.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.